glad to report that we've had tremendous success thanks to our organizers, our volunteers, our speakers in putting together a great program for you today. I'm glad you're joining us bright and early Saturday morning. I want to thank you for that as well, of course. Before getting into any other program or any other details, I would like to thank the folks who bring the milk and cookies, our great sponsors. Some of them are listed here. Obviously, we couldn't do all that we end up doing without their support. So a big thank you to everyone there. Usually, in the years past, we used to have a slide about the agenda where we talked about the whole day and what was involved and what's going to happen. This year, what we've done is, thanks to VizTech Solutions, we actually have an agenda that you can download. It's an app. On iOS, it's Open Forum 2014. On Android, it's Open Forum. You can search for it. There are QR codes around different places around the halls that you can scan and download the app. That'll get you onto the agenda as well. And there's speaker details there as well. So I'm very proud of the fact that we are not wasting paper. We're not printing anything this year. We're doing it all on your phones. Hopefully that's going to be a convenience. I also want to take a moment and talk a little bit about recent success stories from the open community. It's obviously very gratifying to see people that have struggled, have worked hard, to see them get their due and more. And I'm proud to present Naeem Zafar, for example, with Bits and Mobile. Osman Rashid, he actually had two successes. Chegg went public last year, and No actually was acquired last year by Intel. We have Wahid Qureshi, whose Zenprise was acquired by Citrix. He's now a CTO at Citrix, and he, in fact, is going to be running a session later today on mobility, which is what he's running at Citrix now. And of course, last but never the least, Asher Aziz. And this is something that we're going to discuss in some detail. And I'm glad to be joined by Arif Hilali and Gaurav Garg here today, who are going to be joining me on stage in just a moment to talk about some of the behind the scenes, the behind the music story of Asher Aziz and FireEye, what was involved. It's a fascinating story. Asher was kind enough to join us actually last week. And it was, some of us got to hear some of the story. I'm sure Gaurav and Arif can provide an amazing perspective in addition to that. And that should be good as well. This year, we're also launching a few startups right here at the conference or around the conference. Osman Rashid, who was just mentioned, he's actually launching Galaxies. This is a gaming startup with a bend on education. That's what his specialty is. He's done that in the past as well, of course. Reshma Haider, who's the chair for our youth advisors. She's launching MyFam, which is going to be a platform for connecting members of the family. Fawad Zakaria, a charter member at Open Silicon Valley, has launched Talent Cove, which basically is sort of a lightning fast feedback platform, if you will. And then I'm also proud to announce Asim Zubair, a dear friend and a member of Open, launching Pidget, which is related to people who usually can now ship, shop, or carry items. This is something that the diaspora is probably very familiar with, just in terms of people taking stuff back home on request from others. So this startup actually solves that problem. They're all in the demo room. I'd request all of you to join them in the demo room and experience some of those products. I also want to give a significant shout out to our volunteers. These are people that have worked for the past 3-4 months almost to put all this together. The programs, the speakers, the logistics, everything. And I did not take express permission from any of them to put their picture up here. So some of those pictures might not be very flattering, and I apologize for that. But Open is a volunteer-run organization, and that's something that's dear to my heart as well. I started out as a volunteer as well at Open. And one of the things that's critical for our success at Open is this lifeblood of the organization. And I'd request all of you to consider volunteering, if not for Open, for something else. Whatever is close and dear to your heart, volunteer, because this is what keeps communities together. This is what keeps bringing people together. This is what brings, most importantly, ideas together, gets them to germinate, gets them to develop. And that's how communities grow. So volunteers really do an amazing job in putting all this together. I'd like to thank all of them. And you'll see some of them here. Please, if you run into them, say hello, smile, say thank you if you will. I'm sure that they'll appreciate it too.